What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another tutorial video here on this channel. This time we'll be creating one for the QB framework for FiveM. Yes, I'm finally back after 2 years of not uploading. A lot of shit has happened, but you know what? We're back. We're better than ever, and we will create more content for you. So just jump things off. We're gonna go and create an updated video on creating a FiveM server. And like I said, this time it will be for a QB framework instead of an ESX like we have done in the past. So just like always, I'll be going step by step, everything from front to end, and then we're gonna load into the game and we're gonna test it out. So here we go. First things first, in the description there will be a bunch of links. Make sure you go check those out. I'll show you right now where those links go. One of them will be the server artifacts. You're gonna need this to create your actual server. The other one will be KeyMaster right here. I'm gonna trash this key because we'll be creating a new one for this tutorial. And as in key, as in you need this key to actually play. It's 100% free. Or if you're like me and you're a nerd, you pay for extra benefits. Which, by the way, this will be another video, and I'll show you how to accomplish that. We'll need a spare Google Chrome tab just for you. And we have Winrar right here. Make sure you go there and download this if you don't have it already. If you don't prefer Winrar, you can use 7-zip, WinZip. There's many different versions of these programs. Just have one of them. I use Winrar, so the link will be in the description. And also download Xampp. This will also be in the description. This will be our database. So since that's out of the way and you have those two things minimum downloaded, come back to this video and let's go. First things first, on our desktop, let's create a folder. We're gonna name this whatever you want. Name it the server name you're going to pick. If you don't know it yet, just name it server, whatever you want to do. I'm gonna name it YouTube server. So go ahead and open that up now. And there we go. Inside of here, we're gonna create two additional folders. One is called server, one is called server data. Now keep in mind, you can name these two things whatever you want. You don't even technically need to create this one. I just like doing it this way because I've always done it like this. It's an easy way to structure it. Just remember where everything goes. Alright, back to the links. Now we gotta go to the artifacts one here. The artifacts is the core of your server. This is what runs it. This is your TXAdmin. This is what downloads everything. This is how you manage it. This is the core of everything. There's two ways you can download it. One, the latest recommended, which is what we will be doing in this video, or you can just download the latest version, period. The latest recommended will not have any bugs in it. It's been thoroughly tested, things of that nature. I'm gonna download that one so I can create another video on how to show you guys on how to update your server. So go ahead and hit that big blue button. This will download your server. Open that up. And again, this is a zip file, so you need Winrar, 7-zip, WinZip, any of those, it doesn't matter. Inside of this window, right click and select all. We're gonna just drag this into the folder we made called server. Let that go ahead and then extract, and then once it's extracted, which won't take very long, we're gonna close out of this zip file. Now if you go into the server folder, you can see everything should be in there. Scroll down to the all the way up to the bottom, and you see this file right here, fxserver.exe. Go ahead and double click that. What that's going to do is open up a CMD console. Now keep in mind, this is your server, this black window. If this is not running, neither is your server. This has to be on. So never close it, minimize it, unless you want your server not running. You also notice this opened up TXAdmin in a web browser. Go ahead and just hit the link account. The next step, it'll ask you to sign into your CFXRE forum account. I already am, so I'm just going to hit continue. Then it's going to ask you to create an offline password, which you can name it password, whatever you want. It doesn't even matter. And then hit agree, create master accounts. Now comes the actual part of setting up the basics of the server. You name the database, everything like that. So hit next. We're going to name this YouTube. Can't spell today, YouTube. I really can't spell today. Oh boy, I'm having a hard time here, fellas. YouTube server, QB, just so I know what it is. And as it says right here, this is the short name that's going to happen, like the Discord messages and everything else. So keep it short, but keep it relevant to your server. Hit next, and here's where we actually deploy the server. We're gonna go to popular recipes. In here you'll see the CFX default, which is the core, the basics, the absolute bare minimum to run FiveM, as it says right there. And then the QB framework and the ESX legacy framework. We've always done the ESX legacy. This time we're gonna do the QB framework. The QB framework is just a much more efficient and faster framework than ESX, and it's what everybody's going with, so we gotta stay up to par here. And either one of these comes fully loaded with scripts already in it, so once you follow this video, you can already play on a finished server. So we're gonna go ahead and click that. The next thing I'm gonna do is, right now is, they're gonna change the path where everything saves to. I like staying structured, so I'm gonna save everything into this, the server data folder that we created. So we're gonna hit change path and go right up to there and just type in server data. Now keep in mind, you don't have to do this. You can structure it however you want. This is how I structure it, just because what I'm used to. It's nice, it's easy to find things, and so on. So once that's done, go to recipe deployer. Don't touch anything here or you're gonna break something. This simply is everything that's gonna get downloaded for the server. Don't touch it, just hit next. Here we're gonna create our KeyMaster key now. That's where you have to go to the description again, to the KeyMaster website. Here we're gonna create a new server. Display name again has to be relevant to your server, but make it a short name. This is just so you know what the key goes to, as it says own records. Initial server IP. That's where we go to the Google tab. Type in, what's my IP? I can't spell it, but at least it knew what I meant. It's going to show you your public IPv4 address. Keep in mind, I'm on a VPN, so this is not my actual address. So you guys want to do what you want, go ahead. It's not my actual address. Yours will actually show your address. I don't suggest giving out your public IP. Make sure it's always VPN protected. Host it somewhere else. Whatever you got to do, just protect your home network. But we're going to copy that, paste that right in there. We're going to server type. We're going to be home hosted. And we're going to be localhost since we're home hosted. And hit I'm not a robot and generate. We no longer need this Google tab, so you can exit out of it. Back to KeyMaster. It generates a key for you. You need this key to play or create your FiveM server. It is 100% free unless you get a Patreon subscription for more benefits, but just the key itself is needed. And as you can see, it is IP locked for the first use, so whatever IP you registered has to be where this key gets started. After that, it can be used anywhere. Keep in mind, I will be regenerating or deleting this key after the video, so don't try to copy it. It won't work anymore. Hit copy, go back to your server deployer, paste that in there. Done. The next step is, remember how in the beginning of the video I told you guys to download Xampp, which is our database? Go ahead and open that up now. It should look something just like that. Now next to Apache and MySQL, go ahead and start both of those services. You now officially have your database running. You have to have this running along with this black window right here, the CMD. Both of these have to be running for your server to work. Once you have this started, go ahead and hit admin next to the MySQL right here. This will open up another tab. We no longer need to have this open. We can exit out of this. This will stay running in the background, so there's no worry about exiting it out. The only thing you have to minimize and not exit out is this black window, the CMD. Always minimize it because that is your actual server. So now what we're going to do is create a new database. So hit new, and we're going to name this, again, the short name of our server. Mine's going to be YouTube_server. Okay, you're going to name yours whatever your server is. So one thing you have to remember in here though, do not use spaces. As you can see, I did an underscore. You can do a dash, you can take the dash out. It doesn't matter as long as there's no space. And for good measures, to make sure there's never any spelling issues, highlight it and copy it for later use. We're going to hit create. As you can see, we now created a new database which has nothing in it. It's fine. there's gonna be some stuff in there very soon. Go back to your server deployer, hit show database options. Don't touch any of this stuff right here. If you're doing everything in this video, none of that needs to change. If you're using a game panel or anything else, they'll tell you the information for your database, but if you're local hosting it, that's all the same. The only thing we're changing is the name of the database, which we don't want to use that. We're using the one we just created, so paste that in there, YouTube server. If you want to use the default they give you, by all means, it's not going to break anything. This is just a good way to structure everything and keep everything, organized. It's easy to find, especially if you, let's say, have 20 different servers or 20 different databases. You do a lot with the database. You want to know what each database goes to. So if you name it after your server, it's easier to find and edit. So now that that's done, go ahead and hit run recipe. At this point, it's going to start going on GitHub, whatever else they specified, and it will download everything. As you can see here in our file explorer, it's doing all kinds of funny things. It's simply just downloading all the scripts, all the images, everything it needs to get your server up and running. Now also we go back to the database. Remember, this was empty. If we go ahead and hit refresh, all of a sudden, if you click YouTube server, you can see all these tables are in there. But if you do look at these tables, they're pretty much all at 0 other than management funds. So if you click on management funds, you can see you got job names in there and how much they get paid and their boss, stuff like that. Everything else is at 0, which is fine. Once we log in and other people log in, more things will fill out. So we're going to leave this open because after we connect to our server, I'll show you guys a quick example of how it saves into the database. Server deployer, we obviously have to keep this window open because after this we're going to start the server. KeyMaster, we no longer need the KeyMaster. You can close out of that. Now our artifacts page right here, you want to make sure you save this link, bookmark it, write it down, send it to yourself in a Discord message, or just simply remember it. Whatever you got to do, don't lose it. You can find this again by googling FiveM server artifacts, and it'll bring you right back to this. But just keep in mind your server will get outdated, so you will have to update it. Our server right now is outdated. We are using version 58.48. The latest version is 64.57. In a later video I will show you guys how we're going to update everything. But for this sake's video, we're going to stay in the outdated version. It's not going to break anything, it just means we don't have all the latest features. But again, in a later video I'll show you guys how to update that. And by the looks of it, our server is just about done. So we're going to go ahead and exit out of that, and we're perfect. We're done. As you can see, it opened up the same browser window again. We can exit out of one of them. We don't need them both. In here you can see our server.cfg, my logo. You will be replacing this with your actual server logo. It currently, as you can see, is just a default QB logo. And then resources, which all the resources that they currently gave you, voice, standalone scripts, all of the QB scripts they already have loaded. Like I said, this is loaded, ready to go to play on. So in our server deployer window, hit next. Again, here is the server, this right here, server.cfg is this right here. We're not gonna touch anything in this video. We're gonna go ahead and make another video for that to go over everything on that aspect. So if you have any specific questions on the server.cfg, make sure you ask in the comments. I'll be sure to create a video on it. Or if you have any other things that you want videos created on, make sure to let me know. I'll make a video for it. One thing I want to note out while we're here is we are enforcing a game build of version 28.02. That means the developers that created this resource pack, this server pack, built it on version 28.02. The reason people specify certain builds is if they develop everything on one build, on a different build, it may break things. So they set the force of the game to that build. That way you always play on that build. And you'll see that once we load up FiveM, if we're not already forced to that build, it'll make us restart FiveM to play on that build. So now we're gonna do it is hit save and run. We can close out of this. We don't no longer need that, and just maximize this. We're gonna let this start up. Keep in mind the first time you start this up, it's gonna take a little bit because there's a few extra things it needs to download. As you can see right here, first of all, it tells that we're running in an outdated version of a couple of things. So RP emotes, we're running outdated. Current version, latest version, not a problem. In a later video, I can show you guys how to update that. And we should be installing a few extra things. It doesn't look like it's doing it, or it's hung up. So we're gonna let this sit for a little bit. If it doesn't do anything, I'm gonna go ahead and there it is. Okay, so it was just hanging up for whatever reason. Let it do its thing. It'll let you know when it's done installing. Again, while this is installing, make sure to go down into the comments, leave me your feedback on this video and any future videos you would like to see. If you did enjoy this video, since we're almost done, make sure to like it and subscribe for any future videos. If you do run into any issues, the best place to reach me at is my Discord. The link will be in this description. I did create a new Discord, so it's going to be relatively small at first, which is perfect for you. I'll see your comments quicker and be able to help you out. And we're just about done started up here. This should be the last thing, and we should be started up now. So now what we're going to do is just do a quick overview of this TXAdmin. I will create a full in-depth video of TXAdmin as well, but just to show some of the things they have added. They added Discord integration, you know, automatic restarters, player management, admin control, the dashboard. There's just so much we can do with this. It's crazy. And I will create a video on its own just going over TXAdmin in depth. And just to point out here, on the bottom it says outdated. Again, nothing to worry. It even says it up here, you're outdated. I will create a video on how to update TXAdmin, which will also be the same video. I go over the general structure and everything you can do with TXAdmin. But since our server is now officially started, we go back to live console. You can see it hasn't done anything. We're gonna go ahead and start up FiveM, so I can show you loading in what your very first server will look like. Now this shouldn't take very long. Obviously it's GTA FiveM, so it may take a few minutes, but nothing crazy. So if you have done everything correct up to this point, once you start FiveM, you should see this box right here if you have the latest updated version of FiveM. This pretty much says, hey, connect to the server running on your network. I have numerous servers running on my network because I host several servers. So I can't click that because I'm not sure if that's my exact computer server. Yours should be fine. Yours will be the only one there. If you are unsure as well, just like myself, if that's yours or not, you can look at the desktop name and match it up. The easier way to do it is just hit F8. It'll bring up this console. Type in connect localhost. That will connect to the server that is running on the machine that you're currently on, and hit enter. This will now connect us. As you can see, it's not making us restart. So we are already on the 2808 server build that it requested. If we open up our browser real quick, you can see right here, it's queuing a cipher, which is myself. Up here it shows the user, which you can see it'll give you all kinds of cool ID information about the player. I'm not going to click on everything because I don't want you guys knowing all my IDs. But there we go. As you can see, there are a bunch of little red errors here, which, to be fair, you don't have to worry about them. With your home hosting, most of the time you'll see things like this right here. The server thread hitch warning is taking a little longer, or there's a query returning an error. None of these really are something to majorly worry about. It won't affect your actual server. These are things that we can look into fixing down the road in another video. But as for now, for this video, just to get your server running, you can just ignore them. They're not going to break anything, I promise. So let's go back in here. As you can see, we're loaded up. And the fantastic thing, like I said, this is fully loaded. You have multi-characters creation, you have jobs, you have everything. So for the sake of this video, we're going to create a very quick account. Cipher, yo, nationalities Germany, we're male, and we're just gonna pick a random year like that and hit continue. Now we're gonna locate the area we want to spawn. Like I said, this is fantastic. Normally you would have to go jumping through hoops to add all these scripts, and they're already added for you. We're gonna go ahead and go to integrity way and hit confirm. So now that we're spawning in, there's many things happening. Once we're getting all our information put into the database, we just got assigned an apartment. As you can see, we get the keys for it, and we're creating our character. Instead of creating the character though, I'm gonna go ahead and just select a random model. Ooh, there we go. Let's select this guy. How about that? Bonus points if you remember his name. Put it in the comments. And we hit confirm. There we go. This is our very own apartment that has been assigned to us right on the start. And we're gonna go ahead and leave the apartment just so we can show you what the outside looks like. You know, instead of closing the menu, I should leave the apartment. There we go. There it is. Here's our apartment. Boom. Right on Integrity Lane. That's where we live. So as you can see, TX. You can see we got a cool TXAdmin menu. One sync is on. Again, cool moderation features. Main. I mean, you got the dashboard, the website we were on. We also have it here. It's just so much that we can do with TXAdmin. Like I said, a video later down the road will go over everything. But this is it. This is your car. Not your car, sorry. This is your server. Ready to go.
Hello?
Commands added.
I got nowhere to go.
I mean, whatever you can think of, this is it. And you can stop the video pretty much here. We're all done. Your server's running. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Join my Discord. I'll help you guys out as much as I can. And if there's any certain specific scripts you would like added, you can go ahead and let me know in the description as well. Not the description, I'm sorry, in the comments, and I'll get those added. But before we end this video, I just want to show you guys really quickly on how this saves into the database. So we go back to the database. You can see if we refresh, we all of the sudden, oh, let's click on that refresh. You can see now we got a 1 there, 1 there, a 1 there. So we're going to click on players. This is our player information. You can see license, name, how much money we have, our character information, all kinds of cool things are being shown right here from our character. But that's pretty much it for this video. Again, like, comment, and subscribe for future content, and we'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.